is there anything in particular you're wanting to go over yourself? You are sensei after all.
Oh, well, I mean, I particularly enjoyed the Detour from Doom that we worked on last time. So if you wanted to pick up on that,
that would be good.
That gets us
that would be good
in the purple belt. I'm just realizing that we're doing the quote unquote left side of the technique. Not that it matters, but because we'll end up doing both sides. But I think this is the left side, but that's okay. So we're here in our left neutral, and you're absolutely right. We're going to shift up the circle, but we're also coming feet together, or fairly close together here into a cat stance, because our goal really is to do kind of like a replacement kick, where you kick the front foot out of the way, but rather than shuffling forward, it's up and kick. But it's the same idea as kind of a quick replacement. And as we're doing that, we've got our universal block. Yep. And now don't let this sit in front of your body, but you want it to kind of sweep out and be, you can see here, it's well beyond the side of my body as I end up facing almost towards the camera here. And then immediately I've got my front kick to the groin. It could be a front kick to the floating ribs, whatever target presents itself. And then from here, we're going to plant as we pin. So this left hand is creating an opening. You're thinking about pinning his elbow to his body somewhere. It could be his right arm, could be his left arm, kind of doesn't really matter. Just get whatever's in your way out of your way. And we're going to do a vertical punch to the solar plexus. If it's available. If it's not the solar plexus, you can release the ribs. If none of his body is available, you can make it a heel palm strike to his temple or his jaw or his chin or nose, whatever is begging for it. Now, when you execute this strike, a regret I have in my instructional video is that I kind of snapped the punch a little bit, as you can see what I'm doing here. And what I want you to visualize, yes, I want it to be like you're shattering a board. So think about the board breaking. And with that, you don't want to bounce off the surface of the board, but you want to go through 2 or 3 or 4 boards all at once, and your hand is going to stay there. So let's try that. So we're very much thinking a thrusting punch. So from the top here, we're in our neutral bow. We're getting all the way into our universal block, immediately lifting with that front kick. Planting down here. Oh, I think you've got your universal block going the wrong way. It should be the right hand down. Yes, there we go. And the left hand that's up. And again, don't let it.
And it follows. Excuse me. As you do this, I think you likened it to the matador and the bull, because as you're in your neutral bow, you sweep here. You want to follow him as he goes or wherever he's headed to. Correct?
That's right. And so if I start a little off angle here and I finish towards you, the goal is that he's got something coming at your center line, and you're trying to get it off of your center line. So do you see how my arm is here, a sort of across to my other hip? I don't want to finish here. I want my right hand to be out past my right hip. Yes. And my left hand is out past my right shoulder. So everything is out towards my right. Yep, there we go.
And you finish, as you swing that, it's into a cat stance, correct?
That's right. We've got pat stance and kick. Very good. And now the left hand's going to pin as you plant, and you're going to thrust that punch, visualize breaking a board, or in this case, shattering his ribs. Boom. Now the right hand that just punched can do kind of a mantis style hook behind the back of his neck. Realize he's falling over like a tree. So you're really just getting out of the way with another up the circle as you hammer fist the back of his neck. Yep. And then from here, you can do a left front crossover towards your window. And then you're going to come right back in with a right rear crossover into a left back kick. Yep. So just like every technique that we've looked at, like clutching feathers and the like, you do a single cover to get out of the way, and then you're right back in with that back kick. It's just our sort of our standard issue extension to get one last hit there. Boom, you got the pin and the punch. You're up the circle as he falls over. Smack the back of the head there. Yep, you got your single cover as you open up the distance, get away from him, and then you realize he needs one more hit. Boom. Yep, there's that back kick. That's it.
So when I wind up covering, all things being equal, and this is where I'm going to have to, I can slide over a little bit and still stay in frame. As I do, because here's the first one, and I have to remember not to go quite so far. I still want to, like I'm doing a reap. If I do a reap, I really swing that foot. I don't want to do a reap. I just need to run up the circle. Oops. This way. Snap. Palm heel. And then my cover, I'm not necessarily going straight. I'm actually kind of going to 730. Would that be about right?
Let me think here. So this is my 12. I'm facing 130. Boom.
Yeah.
I go up the circle again a little bit. Yeah, so it's more towards my 730 that I do my cover out, and then my back kick is towards my 130.
Okay.
If all the angles work out in the ideal phase, that sounds about right.
And that's kind of what I was thinking, because if I have basically, I manticed him down and hammer fisted him roughly here, my cover is going to be this way.
Yep.
And then
that's right.
And then I can do another cover out.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
The only tip I want to give you is when you're doing that hammer fist, do another up the circle. So don't just sort of stand there in place, but get your body out of the way. So up the circle towards there we go. And now as a hammer fist, that looks great. And then you've got the space you need for that left foot to go towards 730. There it is. Boom. Yep. That's it. Yeah. So I love this technique because it focuses on the fundamentals that I feel are absolutely necessary, which is being evasive, right? In thrusting salute, we saw the push drag this way.
Mm-hmm.
In this technique, we're doing the matador up the circle kind of a move. So just that right there is, priceless for keeping ourselves safe. And then even if we forget all that and we just want to be offensive, if we've got a bad guy in front of us at any point, we can just kick to the groin like delayed sword. So if we skip the up the circle, right? If there's a guy who's in our face, he's pushed, he's doing something, and we can just fire that front kick, boom, and immediately pin and punch. So that right there is just a killer combo. So anytime you're dealing with a guy, kick to the groin, wreck him with your hand, and that's it. It's a 1-2 combo, kind of like a boxer would go jab, punch. Our jab is not a hand jab, it's a foot jab. And we're going to create our opening rather than just fire the punch. We're going to create the opening and it's going to thrust. So it's kind of go ahead.
Funny enough, you were saying that I got to watching body cam videos from YouTube, which actually had been really good because one of them, two officers had basically cornered this guy and he was dead silent. And then all of a sudden he exploded and he comes at the guy just like this. And as soon as, when you said that, you fire off that kick, I'm like, oh, sure, because that would have been the scenario in my head that would have worked, because here, pin his arm, immediate vertical thrust punch. Then you could snake up and drop him because he should have doubled over by then. Okay, because I'm envisioning the scenario in my head, and that was the one that came up.
Yeah, I think it's such a universal response. It just works. It works so well. The up the circle is great if you need it, right? If the guy is initiating something, it could be a jab, could be a punch, could be a kick, could be a jump spin flying kick. Doesn't really matter what he's doing. You just matador out of the way, and then you've got this move. Or if he's on you already and there's no sense in moving any further because he's within striking range, just fire the kick.
And that's the way that scenario happened to play out. As quick as the guy covered 21 feet, I don't know how far it was, but he was there immediately. Yeah, I mean, I could see it if you're in a neutral boat too, and you're guarding, just pow, and then sweep him right down. I mean, because as fast as he came, that was would have been the immediate response. That's when it always plays in my head that how do I defend somebody that all of a sudden is silent and then he's there?
Yeah. Well, I think it's good to connect those dots, and this would be certainly a great response to have. Thrusting salute is another great technique. This one I think is faster. That lead leg kick is right there to intercept him. But thrusting salute basically looks at the complement, which is instead of a lead leg kick, let's do a rear leg kick. So thrusting salute was the rear leg, and instead of a pivot strike, it's a step through strike. So it just shows you can do lead foot, you can do rear foot, you can pivot punch or pivot heel palm, or you can step through heel palm. And those are really fundamentally, those are your options, right? As an anatomical creature here. Everything else is like nuance and fun little details, but at its most fundamental level, those are your moves. So let's do Detour from Doom here one more time. Just the offensive part. We're in a left neutral. We've got a left kick, a pin, and a right punch. Yep. Or now let's switch gears to thrusting salute. We can think about opening the gate. Our on guard position, this can become a crisp knife hand to sort of guard our face here as we open the gate and fire our front kick into a heel palm. Yep. And we're really capitalizing on merit of gravity. Again, we want to think about a board break with that heel palm. Boom, boom. That's it. So we've got, and I like to think of Mr. Miyagi from Karate Kid. When I pull this back to a chamber, I kind of push this knife hand out as I front kick and then heel palm strike. Because admittedly, we're walking with our strike towards the opponent. We don't want to walk into a punch. And so more than just on guard, we kind of want to have this knife hand out guarding our quadrant one and if it has to become an inward block, either a hand sword or a closed fist block, it can do that as well. But my thought is, meet, not even seeing anything, just meet a potential threat as you front kick. Yep. And so between that thrusting salute and Detour from Doom, you're pretty well set for being offensive in your defense, not sitting there waiting to block something, but just attack as your defense. So let's try Detour from Doom on the opposite side.
Okay.
I all face this way now. So now we're in a right neutral. We can go up the circle into our cat stance. It's a left downward block and a right inward. Yep. And try not to have your hand by your shoulder, but try to have this inward block be out away from your body a little bit more. Yep. We've got a right foot to the groin. Planting down with the pin. So you want to use your body weight to help accentuate that pin. And now we're thrusting this punch, thinking about breaking boards. We've got a left vertical thrust there. Now the left hand can mantis hook as you up the circle, or a hammer fist, thinking about Thor or the Incredible Hulk here, smashing the back of his neck. We've got a single cover out. I guess this towards our original 430.
Right.
Single cover towards 430.
That's I gotta remember that because for whatever reason it's backwards.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm totally wrong here. I'm covering out the wrong direction.
I think if that's a chair I'm seeing in the corner there, I think you would circle.
Yep. Why? Oh, because.
Yep.
It's
there it is.
There. Oh, then I got to come cat. Oops.
That was good. Yep. Now pin with your right as you plant.
That's right. Wow.
Now you're going to up the circle a little bit more as you hook and hammer fist. Boom. Now, because you've upped the circle, your right foot can step where that chair used to be, where that kettlebell is. You can start to go that direction. There we go. And then just reverse that motion, coming back in with a back kick. Boom. To knock him over one last time. Now. Perfect. That's it.
Okay. That's the bad part. I don't have a ton of room, but I'll make it work. But I'm just trying to orient where my opponent would be. So if I'm here, it's, oops, I keep forgetting that cat stance because it's part of the matador.
Yeah. Now don't make it 2 foot maneuvers. So don't here we can't quite see my feet.
That was
so
an
don't
accident.
Yeah. So well, just for whoever's watching at home here, we don't want to go up the circle and then cat because it'll take a while. We want to get this left foot directly behind the right so that the right can immediately fire. So it's just step.
I know what I see what I'm doing because I'm leaving the foot here. I need to actually, if I'm doing it, basically bring it short.
Yes, it's a very short up the circle, so that kick is immediate. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, that makes that makes better sense because I felt like I was having to make that extra step because I was here. But again, I'm doing a blessed reap. I like the reap. I like doing a reap, but I can't do that here. It's basically a step up. I don't have to literally go around the clock, go around the circle, but I'm doing the same thing if I come here.
Well, now you think of your on guard position. Think of this with your right hand high. You're already in a universal block. So your left hand is low, your right hand is high. So you're just sort of shifting that a little bit. And I see how your elbow is protruding more than your wrist. I'd like to see your wrist coming out away from your body more than your elbows. If I do it from a side view here, I don't want you to finish this way where you see my elbows out, but I want you to finish more like this with the wrist leading. And the other thing I like to do, I like to think of this like I'm popping out hammer fists. So if you can appreciate this kind of motion here, but
you definitely want this hand down to cover here, correct?
Yes, but you can see here it's coming out. I don't want to stop. So if I have a threat coming at my center line, and I stop at my center line, I haven't actually redirected it, right? He's either going to hit me and then I'm going to strike, or I'm going to leave my arm here and he's going to strike on top. And what I need to do is I need to go past my center line, and I'm pushing it all away from my targets. And I have found that in this scenario, I don't particularly like this kind of a delivery. You see how I'm sweeping it this way? From my on guard position, I find it much more effective. It's fast and powerful to just punch it. Just make fist and hammer fist out. So this kind of just like I'm doing push-ups, right? But it's kind of a funky push-up off to the side. It's not sort of a sweeping one of these classical type blocks. So not that, but just punch it. So I'm here.
Yep.
I'm up the circle, and I'm just punching it out because, yeah. So that looks good. I'm gonna adjust this camera a little bit. There we go. So we've punched our blocks or hammer fisted our blocks. Yep. And let's keep rolling here. So we got that right front kick. Planting down with the pin, left thrusting punch. Yep. Now, my tip on that punch I try to make a point of this in my video. The fist is vertical, but I like to keep my elbow up away from my body. So I like to keep enough room for a tennis ball. So don't think about squeezing in tight, but I actually want you to think about lifting the elbow as you all the way through as you punch. So yeah. And the justification I gave was, imagine you're doing push-ups. If I do close grip push-ups with my elbows out, I am quite strong. If I crank my elbows in and I try doing close grip push-ups, I lose my pectoral muscles, and it's all anterior delt and tricep, and it becomes very difficult. So by lifting the elbows, suddenly I've got more musculature involved. So that's what we're doing here. It's from the pectoral, but the elbow is out, not like crazy high. So it's going to be like a downward 45, but that's going to give you some solid power. And I put some inspirational videos on my YouTube channel. The first one is what I think is the most inspirational. It's an old Okinawan master from just a couple years ago. And he breaks like 6 boards with one punch. He's insane.
Oh.
And when you see him punch, his elbow is quite out. He does a horizontal punch for the break, but he's not trying really hard to keep it all in. He's kind of out here as he's firing it. And so that was the angle I wanted to mimic, but I'm going to deliver it vertical, because I do think the vertical punch is safer on the wrist. So you've got maximum safety and you've got maximum power.
Okay.
So let's take it one more time here from the top. We're up the circle immediately into our cat stance. Left hand low, right hand high. There we go. Right kick. Boom. Planting with the pin. Elbows up. Fist is vertical. Thrusting that punch. Good. Now, as he bends over, we're getting out of the way. Hooking behind the neck. Hammer fisting the back of his neck. Yep. Covering out towards your kettlebell. Yep. There we go.
Okay. It was just the footwork still. It's almost one of those. I almost need to put my hands behind my back for a second.
Yeah.
It's up.
Yeah. The block. The block is really almost inconsequential. It really is the up the circle. So if you want, let's just skip the block for right now. If we go back to the right neutral belt, put your hands up. Just keep your on guard position. And all I want you to do is go up the circle kick.
Too far.
Yep. So up the circle and kick. And hopefully you can appreciate, with your right hand high and your left hand low, you're already kind of in a universal block. You just have your on guard checks. So you're still guarding yourself. Either one way is with fists, one way is with empty hands, but you've got up the circle kick.
I have to remember to stay erect. I don't want to get slouched over. That's a habit. It's easy to get into.
There we go. Now let's try this offensively. Let's just face the camera. We'll even forget the up the circle. We're going to go right kick, right pin, left punch. That's it. Yep. Kick, pin, punch. Good. See if you can punch now, maybe it's just the funny perspective of the camera. Make sure that you're punching about solar plexus height. And if you are, that's great. Keep doing it. From the perspective of the camera, it looks like you're punching face, but it could just be that the fist is right in the camera there, and we can't quite.
No, you were right, because I realized that as soon as you started talking, it's like, that was here, and I need to be here.
Yeah.
Because I was basically punching chest, not solar plexus.
Yeah. I find that the higher I start to strike, this vertical punch starts to feel like less and less of a good idea. And the heel palm makes a lot of sense. I can hit a high target with a heel palm strike and not worry too much. But as soon as I'm start doing vertical punch, you can see that the wrist has to compromise. and then it ends up being this kind of a funny thing, you know, like you're trying to hang a picture above your head on the wall, and it's just not going to feel very strong. So if we're hitting the body, knuckles make a lot of sense because they're pokey and they really hurt the ribs, and you're not going to hurt your hand all that much. And you got great alignment and power too. But this extra joint is still kind of an opportunity for the system to sort of lose power a little bit because you've got a little play. So the moment you start going higher, if you go towards the face, I really recommend a heel palm. But let's do the body shot here. Ready? So we got a right kick, a right pin, and solar plexus or ribs here. That's it. And try not to let it come around. I'm getting the sense that your arm is sort of hooking before then it straightens out, and you want it to shoot straight from the body to the target. Yes.
Yeah.
So the elbow is out, but that doesn't determine the path of the fist. The fist goes straight. So it looks like this in slow motion. Yep. All right.
So if I'm here. Yeah. I get a tendency to lift that elbow up as I come around, and I just need an extra lift is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I need to cock it back here and just
fire it straight. Yeah, that last one looks really good. So this on the list of board breaking requirements, this is one that is near and dear to me. It's either the vertical punch or the heel palm strike, but it's with the pivot. So I highly recommend for you or anyone else who's watching to get rebreakable boards because it'll let you get the repetitions in, and practicing this pivot heel palm strike. The heel palm is nice because you won't damage your hand on the board, and you can just practice generating that power, making sure you get the right path. So that's something I enjoy doing on a regular basis, is that kind of board breaking.
I do have a set of rebreakables coming. They'll be here about midweek. So
awesome.
That and something I had to go a little less expensive than the one you recommended, but I'll make it work. And so I have a holder plus four rebreakable boards of the different levels.
Okay. Which kind of board holder did you get? Because the one that I got, it's got its pros, but it also has its cons. So I'm curious what.
I'll be honest, this was from Amazon. It was the low end. It cost me maybe $60 or something like that. I'm kind of curious to see what happens when it comes in, because somebody in a review said that it didn't have the padding for the back. I can do that. Yoga pads work good. Stack them, glue them, and stack them, and it's not a problem. I can MacGyver that stuff easy enough. That was the only thing I was concerned about. I have a place to hold it, but it was only about $60, and I understand it's probably lower quality. I was trying to think of a way to make one of my own. I could probably router it out, and I should be able to do it, but I'm reasonably woodworky type.
Yeah, I had the same thought of trying to build my own, but I realized that my skill level with that stuff is not right. So it would take me a long time, a lot of trial and error. The one that I have is nice. It feels, it's still plastic, but it feels durable. The only issue I see is that there's still a lot of vibration to it. So, so I have to add lots and lots of like paracord wraps. So like I've got 2 trucker's hitches, I've got some taut line hitches, everything to kind of like hold this thing in place so that when you hit it, it doesn't like wiggle and drop the board.
And I can see the potential with the one that I bought. It's for that problem. It has some angle bracing on the sides, where you put where it holds the boards. It's the strapping I'm concerned about as to how that's held on. But I have oodles of straps that I can tighten down good and hard, so that's not a problem. It's just a matter of where. I've got a utility pull-out back I'll probably use.
Okay. Yeah. Well, maybe next time or one of the times we meet, you could showcase it for me. Because yeah, if it works, I mean, just because it's less expensive doesn't necessarily mean it's any worse. Maybe it's better. So I'd be curious to see it.
I will. Not a problem, because I'll have it. And I know my son-in-law, he started his dojo in about 15 minutes north of me. And so I told him he could, for some of his students, he can use those, because he's got a lot of younger students. He has some older, but he's got a lot of kids. So I want to make sure that they have that opportunity.
Yeah, that's great. All right. So that was Detour from Doom. Do you want to switch gears and maybe look at something else?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind, since we did Detour from Doom and we talked about thrusting salute, can we go over thrusting salute again? Because I know I'm missing little bits of it, and it's just I'm having a hard time remembering some of it. I believe I have it, but not fully.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. We'll do it standard issue, and then we'll talk about how to take parts of it and just use them offensively. The standard issue has us in a left neutral. And let's forego the block for just a minute. We're going to push drag towards our 730 and then immediately launch off of that rear right foot into a front kick towards our 1030. Sorry, I got my clocks wrong. 430 to 1030. Yeah. So you're doing it right. Just never mind my mistakes here. So we're going to push drag to 430, and then we're going to launch with a front kick to 1030. And let's see if we can do that as quickly as we can. So it's going to be push, drag, and launch. Yep. Yes. And so the goal here is that the moment we see him do something crazy, our instinct is to just go and get out of the way. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to push drag. And as he's in transit and as he's whiffing, right, he's missing the target, he's kind of in a precarious, like, one-legged stance. And that's when we're going to catch him with that front kick, is as he's coming through. So we push drag, he's still moving, we're launching so fast, boom, he catches a front kick. And he's really not in a good position to defend. Even if he drops an elbow or he puts his hands down or whatever he does, that front kick, if we're thinking about breaking boards, it's going to break whatever it hits. We're going to shatter his arm. We're going to shatter his ribs. So it kind of doesn't matter where he is or what he's doing. Just get out of the way and destroy him with the front kick. So
Right.
Here, one more time. Push drag to 430 and blast him with the front kick. Now, if we are going to, let's continue to forget the block. So as we do our push drag, I want the right hand to be in a high and tight chamber. We're going to get ready for a heel palm strike. And the left hand can become a Mr. Miyagi knife hand block like this. So we're going to push drag. We've got our high and tight chamber, our knife hand, and we've got our front kick, and we'll play down heel palm strike. So just like we were looking at it offensively a moment ago, but now we're using it. We have this evasive maneuver beforehand. So we're going to push drag, front kick, heel palm. There it is. Now let's see if we can minimize the delay between the push drag and the kick. We're just going to launch off of that push drag. Yes. Now let's think about including the downward block. So the left hand, which is starting up high here, it's going to circle across your body and down. So we're going to push drag as we circle with the block, and we're going to immediately reverse that circle into that knife hand, and our right hand is going to come up into our high and tight chamber as we front kick and heel palm. Now, yep.
I find that I'm still stepping too far back. I take a good step, but then I'm here and I have to recover a long ways to make
this.
that.
This is one technique where I don't think that works against you too much. And the reason is that you kind of need the space to develop that kick. If he's charging at me and I just scoochie a little bit, I'm gonna jam my own kick because he's right here on top of me. That rear leg kick needs the distance, to get it up and through. So you kind of do need to go quite a bit. You got to get out of the way, whatever he's firing, and then blast through with that kick. So So don't hold back on your tendencies here.
Okay. Ah, blew that one.
That was a very good attempt. Let's slow it down. We're going to break it into pieces, and then we'll play connect the dots. So let's just focus on the block. You're going to push, drag, and block. Yeah. Let's do that one more time. Push, drag, and block. And remember, don't finish with the arm here. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but don't. Yes, it needs to be out, because the whole idea is something's coming in, and you need to get it off of your center line. So don't let it be relaxed, here across your body. So we're on the diagonal, and the arm, yes, is clearly out. Now reverse that circle into a knife hand, high and tight chamber. Think about opening this gate here, the front foot. Open the gate, turn it on the ball of the foot. That allows the front kick to come through with plenty of power, and then heel palm straight. Yep. So one more time. Nice and easy here by the steps. Push, drag with the downward block. Now we're thinking about launching. We're already thinking about launching as this hand comes up. As the hand chambers, I'm already launching off of that rear foot. Front kick, heel palm. Yep, one more time. So we push, drag with the block. We're already launching. Yes. So what I want us to think about here before we really play connect the dots, I want you to think about launching before the hand comes up. If you think about do the block, do the hand sword, do the chamber, you've lost all the sort of momentum shift. So do this with me. We're gonna push, drag, and block. Now I want you to already start your launch off the rear foot. Now the hand is up. Now the hand is chambering. Now the kick is firing. And now the heel palm is executing. Very good. One more time.
Just a quick question. Same thing like with Detour from Doom, where you wanted the elbow out. Are we thinking this? We're thinking the same thing here with this high chambered heel palm, correct?
Yes, the delivery is exactly the same, whether it's your rear hand or your lead, what ultimately becomes your lead hand. The elbow is out at a 45-degree angle. The strike is chambered high and tight here. The hand, you can see the hand is traveling in a straight path. The elbow, not so much, but that's okay. We don't want it to hook out this way. We don't want to allow the hand to get out before it comes back in. The hand is going straight, but the elbow is out just to engage the pectoral muscle. Boom. Yes. So again, visualize your board holder and think to yourself, how should I anatomically position myself so that I'm in the best position to break 2 or 3 boards at once? And so you'll quickly realize, as I did the hard way, I've got to be straight on. My hand has to be coming straight in. If I have a glancing angle of incidence, I'm not going to break those boards. The hand has to go from my pectoral straight to the target, no deviation. Elbow has to be out so it feels like a push-up, like I've got a real control, and it has to be explosive. You're not going to push the boards apart. You have to shatter them. You have to go like dynamite. You have to go from 0 to 100% in a fraction of a second. So let's do this here one more time. We're going to push drag as we block. I want you to start opening the gate. I want you to start launching as the hand comes up. As you chamber, you're already launching with the front kick. And now, boom, there's the shattering heel palm strike. So let's see if we can turn off our conscious minds and turn on our autopilot and connect the dots. Ready? So we're on the guard here. I want you to launch and kick and see if your arms will do what they're supposed to do while all that happens. If you're going to put your conscious mind on anything, put it on your feet. It's got to be launch, push, drag, launch, and kick, and the arms should just kind of whiz through. Ready?
Okay.
Go. Yep. That's it.
I'll clean that up quite a bit. because it's. Oh.
Now I wouldn't push drag into an open gate. I want you to push drag with your toe turned in and your knee obscuring your groin. Yes, but it's the moment you start to launch, that's where you're going to turn the foot and kick. Yeah. So here,
sure.
Yeah. So I wouldn't push drag into a twist stance or a fourth position here if we were doing ballet. I wouldn't push drag to this because your knee is a little precarious and the groin is exposed. I would push drag to this, right? My groin is obscured, but I'm allowing the launching off of my rear foot. That's when I'm going to open the gate and fire. Yeah, that looks good.
That feels better. I'm kind of getting rid of the hesitation.
Mm-hmm. Now, one thing you'll find when you start doing these strikes on the board holder is when that front kick meets the board, obviously the board breaks, but you're still meeting a little resistance. And so in the air, we tend to just go like kick heel palm, and the whole thing feels like it's over, very quickly. But when you're actually connecting with that front kick and then connecting with the heel palm, you're going to have these moments of, it's not just going to be, kick heel palm and it's all over. So let me try to demonstrate what I mean here. In the air, it's easy to connect the dots. So we might go really fast like this. On a target, on a board holder, it might look more like this. You've got that front kick just exploding the boards, and then this is charged up. And if you had more boards, of course, that would be another hit. I recommend doing the front kick on the boards and firing the heel palm in the air as if there were more boards set up. You can only really do one at a time unless you had a really full setup with lots of holders. But try to appreciate that. I know you said it's coming in the mail or maybe it's not here yet, but as you're practicing in the air and certainly as you start applying it, you want each strike to be the one that ends the fight. So don't gloss through the front kick because you're so eager for the heel palm. I like to have a mantra in my mind, which is there's only the front kick. That's it. There's nothing before, nothing after. There's no universe. There was no Big Bang. There's nothing. Everything is just now, and it's just the front kick. And so I execute that front kick, with everything. And it's only afterwards then I say, well, there's a new now. And that new now is the heel palm. There's nothing before, there's nothing after, just the heel palm. And that subdivision or that partition in my mind helps me make sure that each one is perfect, rather than thinking that I have this long sequence and I have to go A, B, C, D. Then I'm doing the kick, but I'm thinking about the heel palm. Or then I'm doing the heel palm and I'm thinking about how crappy my front kick was. And then the heel palm is crappy, right? And I say this about myself because I'm critical of myself when I do all this. So whatever piece you're doing, empty your mind of everything else.
Okay.
So
I understand.
Yeah. Let's see it here one more time. Yeah, that looked really good.
That felt better because I always fear, especially when I come back, I had started doing this and I'm trying not to, but I think I'm getting quick on it because I get that slide and I'm opening up a lot quicker. Okay. That explanation was excellent. Thank you. That helped a ton. I have to remember that. I was just thinking as you were saying it too, it's like, wow, should I buy another board holder and a couple more boards?
Well,
like, I could do it. I know how I could do it.
Yeah, I've certainly entertained the idea of getting multiple things set up. So it wouldn't be crazy, I don't think. So get the one started and see how you like it.
Sure.
Well, that looked really good. I liked particularly the downward block. It was the right position. It was crisp. everything was solid there, and the kick, it just looked great. Everything looked great there.
It's in my head as you explained. It's like, okay, that kick's the one I want to hammer on. I have the heel palm as a backup, and it's still going to be as devastating if for some reason that one doesn't quite get him. But as I'm coming back, I got to get that block done because this is the dodge, this is the block, and they both got to hit exceptionally well. So I got to really hit hard because he may come at me with a kick of his own, like you were talking. So
that's it. Yep. Now, the only thing we need to complete the technique is that obligatory single cover Ronaldo into a back kick.
Yep. Because that actually comes, because once I get this done, and I'm trying to think of which one we talked about, because maybe it was this one, because it was just a step here.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
I needed to stay in line.
Yep, we don't even need to cover out. We'll just go straight into the back kick, like you said, stepping across the line. Because that heel palm, yeah, so like if I do it here, facing this way, we've got the front kick, we've got the heel palm. No need to retrograde. I'll just step across with my right foot and keep going.
Oh, okay. I had actually thought about that, but it's like, no, I want to do kind of a partial cover, so I stepped up to give myself just a smidgen's worth of room. But yeah, because I was thinking about that, it's like, wow, from here I could just go. Damn.
It really depends on his reaction. If he eats the front kick and the heel palm, presumably he's far away from you now, and so you need to chase him down. But if for some reason you kicked and struck him and he just dropped like a sack of potatoes, then you would want to go out and come back in. So either one is fine. When I practice it, I just think about chasing him down with all the strikes. So let's do it one more time, and we'll just chase him down. So you're out. That's it.
I didn't want to kick my tablet.
Careful there.
It looked cool, but
yeah.
And I have been working on this one left-handed too, just in case. And I'll tell you, it's kind of funky. I may be right-handed, but I do a lot with my left hand, but it's still awkward.
Yep.
I'll have to continue to work on it.
Well, let's do it here for a couple of minutes and let's break it down. Let's forget the block. We're just going to go push, drag, and launch into the front kick.
Right.
Well, let's slow down. We've got our push drag towards our 730. Right foot's going to open the gate. Yep. And the left foot going to kick.
I forgot to open up as I did that. And that's because I left it here. And I'm like, well, that doesn't seem right because I'm kicking across my body. Funny. Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Very good. Now let's add the heel palm. So as you push drag, yeah, you can think about chambering that left hand. Yep. Well, let's not even worry about the blocks yet, because that's a bit of a distraction. So we're just getting out of the way. We're going to open that gate for a left front kick and a left heel palm. Yep. Now definitely have it come from the pectoral. Don't let it come up to like shoulder height or from your face. You're going to feel less powerful here. You really want the hand. The hand is going to go from just under your pectoral straight to the target. Yes, there it is. Now,
I had realized I had to crank that up too hard.
Yeah, I've got my right hand does it properly, so then I have to study what I do on my right and teach my left. Hey, do what he's doing. Bad hand. That's right. Let's subtract the kick and just do a heel palm strike. So face the camera here in a right neutral. You've got a right knife hand block. You've got a left high and tight chamber. Just open the gate, and you're going to step through heel palm. There it is. One more time. knife hand block. You're going to open the gate, step through, heel palm. And again, visualize your board holder. If you can, strike straight at the camera. I feel like you're striking a little off center. So
I am.
Aim straight at me here. So you're going to open that gate and fire. Yes, very good. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so when it comes time to use that board holder, that's the technique we'll use for breaking boards with that step through heel palm. And now we just try to think about making use of that in our technique. So we're back in our right neutral. We're going to push drag to 730. We've got our knife hand. We've got our chamber. Instead of just stepping through with the heel palm, we're going to open the gate and kick before we heel palm. That's it. Yep.
When I need to, I'm okay. I realized I had wrong perspective because I'm aiming clear over here. And if I'm just getting out of the way, I shouldn't aim quite as far that way. I need to stay forward.
Yeah, it's gonna be in the 130, in the 1230 to 130 range, but not too extreme. Yep. So one more time.
That was my fault. I realized I had done that.
We're push dragging to 730. We've got our knife hand and our chamber. We're going to open the gate for our front kick and heel palm. Now let's try working in that downward block. Now let's forget the rest of the technique. Let's not try to do it all, just the downward block. So we're going to push drag and downward block. That's it. Let's try that again. That looked really good. Yes. One more time. Now from here, it's all going to happen at once. You're going to have a knife hand, you're going to have a chamber, you're going to open the gate, and you're going to kick all at once. So let's just do it from here, from the downward block. You're going to open the gate, you're going to knife hand, you're going to chamber, and you're going to kick. Yep. Let's do it with the push drag now. So we're going to push drag. Open the gate, knife hand, chamber, kick. Yep. The only thing I saw missing there was a solid knife hand, and I really want that hand out because otherwise we might be walking into a punch. So that hand really has to lead the charge. Yes, you're opening the gate. Yes, you're chambering and kicking, but this guy's got to be out there to stop anything coming in. Yeah, that's it right there. Yep, perfect.
I got to slow down. Got to slow down just a hair.
Nice. That was it.
I just have to slow down just a little bit. I feel better on the right side, so I'm going to keep working both. But
yeah, the good news is that we don't have to go as fast as we might be thinking we have to go, because that push drag is buying us time, right? It's getting all of your targets out of the way. And in our mind, we're thinking this guy is lightning fast. He's faster than our thoughts, right? But as fast as he is, he's maybe not that fast. So slow it down to a point where you can connect those dots. And I think we'll find out that that's plenty fast enough.
And I know we've talked about in each of these forms, there's little decision points. And so my first one should be here. So if he goes flying past, I got to change something.
Right. Yes, exactly right. Or if that was a fake and he's coming the other way, right? You may have to, get that hand up or something else.
And that's why this comes up, because if he does, I've got to keep this up, because if he's swinging around or something like that with a left haymaker or something like that, because then I can open up and hit him as he's coming across. But first decision point, second decision point is after the kick.
Yes.
At least as I'm understanding.
No, that's
because
perfect.
Then the third one
every sort of downbeat, everywhere we sink, we use our body weight. We're sinking with the downward block. As we come up, our supporting foot sinks as we front kick. That's a decision point. And now we have the choice to sink again with the heel palm, and that's a decision point into the back kick. Boom. Yep.
Darn it. That hurt.
Uh-oh. Careful.
Oh, it happens. And my knee's done exceptionally well. I snapped that pretty hard. It's like, hey, remember, we're only 6 months out.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I get it. Shut up. Funny enough, sorry, it's done exceptionally well. I've had very little issues with it. It just will twinge every once in a great while. So I've been, when we did escaping the mount, that was excellent, even though I wasn't on my knees quite so much. But just getting up, I had no issues. So I'm doing very, very well with it.
That's good to hear. That's it. Back kick. Boom. Yep. Very good.
Okay. That's feeling better. I will work on that more.
Great.
I hate to ask this. How are you for time?
I'm about at my limit. If you've got one other question, I don't know that I've got time for another technique. But
no, I don't. I'm doing really, really good. And if I do, I know to email you, and you've been great about answering my questions. So thank you. No, I'm actually really good, and I will continue to work both sides on thrusting salute. I'm going to make sure I work both sides of Detour of Doom too, because they're almost like to use the other form, a kata that brings a lot of the other forms together and uses a lot of those techniques. So it's actually really handy, because then delayed sword, I mean, it helps with doing delayed sword. It helps with sort of destruction. It seems like those two in particular help.
Yeah, I think that's a great. I'm glad you've connected that dot there, because I do see the connection with Detour from Doom, delayed sword destruction. Even the like the wrist grab moves, like begging hands, which you'll see, it's got a lead leg front kick, and so and in brown belt you'll see circling fans, and they're really just the same technique, just a different scenario, slightly different application, but it's that lead leg front kick and then a follow-up hand strike. So yeah, hopefully they're each new one you learn helps refine the old one.
It's been doing exceptionally well, because I'm taking a lot of this, translating it over to the Kenpo Jitsu side, and that's been helpful too. I should be taking my brown belt test for that in June, and then they're already talking about black belt in October.
Nice, very nice.
So that will work. So, but thank you. I know you need to get rolling. Thank you.